So yesterday somebody asked me a question that, what are you saying? What are you saying, brother? Are you saying that we are not to worship the Most High? Is it wrong to say thank you to the Most High? No, what I'm saying is that I'm not trying to disvalue the appreciation and the thankfulness that one has towards the Creator. That's not what I'm saying. What I meant by we don't worship the Creator, what I meant is that we are not slaves to the Creator. We are not enslaved to the Creator. Worship is basically expressing your feelings and adorations towards a particular being that you admire the most. So, of course, when you lift up your voice and say, I worship you, Almighty, there's nothing wrong with that. Or I praise you, Almighty, there's nothing wrong with that. But you are not enslaved to the Most High. That's basically what I was saying about the fact that we are not supposed to be enslaved to the Most High. That is the lack of a better word. I use worship in that stand, but I'm not saying that when you worship, when you adore, when you admire, when you have a heart full of praise to the Most High, I'm not saying there's anything necessarily wrong with that, or there's anything wrong with that. So that's basically what I was trying to say yesterday, and Aquaba. I'm super excited to welcome you today into the Melanated Truth. My name is Kojo Bento. I'm here to serve you. I'm here just to break the word for you. All the definitions out there about who a God is does not include the comprehensiveness of who the Creator is. So when you want to understand the role of the Creator, you would understand that the levels between the gods and the Creator is so high that there's no way anything can help express or explain who the Creator is. The Creator is unexplainable. You cannot explain from whence the Creator came from. But at least when we come to the gods, they are explainable, because deep intelligence, or the intelligence of our fathers, or the spirit that be, would easily tell you every time you encounter them that the realms of the spirit is such that the Creator created all that exists, but none, as a matter of fact, none of all the creations that exist have ever seen the Creator. The Creator has never really revealed himself to most human beings, if not all human beings, because even the powers there be, the gods that exist in the divine realm, I can say not more than a handful has ever had an encounter with the Creator. So how can you describe something that you've never seen? How can you describe something that you've never experienced? I bet I want to see anybody describe an event that they never experienced. How are you even going to do that? So if you want to put a description to who the Creator is, then you better tell me when you encounter the Creator or when you experience the Creator. Remember that the word God is also foreign to the tongue of the ancient ones. The ancient ones never for a second called or mentioned or called any encounter that they had with any divine being a God, because the word God did not exist at that time. So at that time, every individual's encounter attracted a specific name that best explained the encounter that they had. When you read the scriptures, Genesis 1:1, it says, in the beginning, the Most High, the Creator, created the heavens and the earth. The Creator created the heavens and the earth. So this automatically makes us understand that the inhabitants of the divine realm is not just a myth. This is something that exists. That is how when we move down to Genesis 1:6, it is said that let us create. You realize that the phrase that was used in this passage was let us, meaning whoever was doing the talking included himself or herself to be part of the us. So whoever that was talking in Genesis 1:26 was not part of the Creator. but it was part of the created beings that came together and said, let us create man. Ooh. Why do I get myself in trouble all the time? I keep saying things that people are not ready for, but that's just the reality. That's just what it is. If I am including myself into a particular group of people in an organization, it means that what I sit in the same rank with them. Let all the CEOs come together. Let all the board of directors come together. Let all the managers come to a meeting. Oftentimes when a meeting is being held in an organization and it's not a general meeting, those department or departmental heads or those in a particular department always call themselves into meetings. So they use the phrase, let us. So the letters there in Genesis 1:26 simply was calling a group of colleagues to come together and say, let us make man in our image. Meaning there was an image that existed. There was an image that they were created in. Let me tell you, the creator that has never been seen, how do we now then be created in the creator's image if the creator's image has never been seen? Let's go to Genesis 6. That the sons of the gods, so that the sons of Elohim, oftentimes this is misinterpreted, because the God simply means Elohim. You see, when you want to read the scripture according to its original language, then a lot of things will be made clear to you. Because every time you heard the word Elohim, you thought it was a divine name. Elohim is just a plural form of El. El means God. Elohim means gods. Multiplicity of the beings El. So when the sons of Elohim, it means what? When the sons of the gods. So who are the gods here and where are these gods? Because this, when the sons of the gods saw the daughters of men, so who are these gods and where are they? Did these gods include did these gods include wisdom? Where is wisdom at this point? Let me ask, have you ever wondered where wisdom is? Oh, we think wisdom is that which only comes to stay in the head. No. We think wisdom is only when information is accrued. No. We think wisdom is only when knowledge is invested in man. No. Wisdom is a being. Wisdom is a being. The sons of God were not the gods themselves. So we have the creator up here. We have the sons of God up here. We have the sons of man up here. I just painted the dimension. The creator, the God, the sons of God. Are you getting a picture? These are three steps, three orders that was just revealed in Genesis 6:1. But most people don't pay attention to this when they read it. He says what? The sons of the gods. Let me start from one. Now, it came to pass when men began to multiply on the earth and daughters were born to the men. So that is one being, one realm, or the divine order. Men in the lowest rank. The sons of God in the next rank. The gods in the next rank. Then we have the creator. Are you getting it? So before you get to the God, you need to go through the sons of the God before you get to the God. The sons of God are not humans. Human beings are not the Beni Elohims. The Beni Elohims means Bin. Bini Elohim. Bin means son. The sons of God are the ones that are in the middle between man and the gods, the beings there be, the powers there be. Oftentimes in scripture, the Most High Yah is directly compared to the other gods. That shows you that the Most High Yah is in the same rank of these other gods. The Creator can never be compared. Because if you are trying to compare the Creator, what are you going to compare the Creator with? Let's read Psalm 97 verses 9. It says, "For you, O Yah, are the Most High over all the earth. You are exalted above every God. You, O Yah, are the Most High over all the earth." You need to understand this conversation was referring to all that exists on the face of the earth. Now, why would the Creator create his entire existence, the multiplicity of the universe, and worry about what is happening on the earth, asking who is exalted above the earth? If this was referring to the Creator, why are they trying to prove or show that indeed the Creator is the one that is exalted above all the gods? Why does the Creator have to worry about all the gods if He created them? It's like a father in the house and the child or the son in the house is saying, "Well, I'm better than my daddy. I've been here longer than my daddy. I'm older than my daddy." How is a son ever going to proclaim that I am older than my daddy? How does that comparison work? The only how there would be a comparison is amongst co-equals, amongst classmates. That is why when we write exams in the classroom, they compare and find out who did or who recorded the best grades in the classroom. You do not compare a junior high student with a high school student. You do not compare a high school student with a college student. So if there is any comparison, it means this comparison is only existing in the class, in the form, in a co-equal, in a rank. The Creator cannot be compared. How are you even going to do that? How does a student of a professor that is being marked by the professor be compared to the professor that is setting the questions for the student to answer? The Most High Yah at this stage was fighting territory over the earth and was claiming the leader, the one that is exalted above all the other gods. This should tell you evidently that there existed every God, every Elohim, God. Oh Yah, you are the Most High over all the earth. The Creator does not have to bring himself to the level of the earth. Let's read 1 Kings verses 8:23. 1 Kings verses 8:23. It reads, "And said, O Yah, Father of Israel, there is no God equal to you in heaven above or on earth below, like you, who keeps your covenant and mercy with your servants who walk in front of you with all their heart." Ooh. I'm clapping for this verse. This verse has exposed it all. I'm telling you, this verse right here, if I should take it line by line, it has exposed it all. Listen. Oh, Yah, Father of Israel. So first and foremost, the God that is being invoked here, or the being that is being invoked here, is the God of Israel, nowhere and nowhere else. He's the God of Israel and nowhere else. Not the God of the Philistine, not a God of the Amorites, the other nations. Not the God of the Philistines, the Assyrians, the Syrians, not the God of all these. He is only the God of Israel. So that is the first clue. The second clue is there is no God equal to you. Fighting positions. Why would they fight positions? Or why would the Most High Yah fight positions if he was the only one? If you are the only one in the picture, how do you compare yourself? Are you getting what I'm saying? If you are the only person standing in the frame of a picture, how do you then say, I'm the prettiest in this picture? You're the only one in the picture. You don't need any comparison. So immediately it should draw your attention to the fact that there is no God equal to you in the heavens above. It means in the dimension. This is even beautiful. Let me read it well. Check it. It didn't say in the heaven. There's no God compared to you in the heaven. In heaven. So one heaven, not the plurality of the heavens. So this was being referred to a particular heaven, and it is said that in that heaven there's no God like him in that particular heaven. Above or earth below, like you, who keeps your covenant and mercy with your servant who walk upright with you. It means what? This God, he is the one that keeps his covenant. The other gods, they are not able to keep their covenant. But this God, is able to keep his covenant with his children. Oh, this is beautiful. So because he is able to keep his covenant with his children and show mercy at the same time, there is no comparison. If nobody else was breaking their covenant, would there be a comparison here? No, because they've tested and tried and seen the others, and they are saying that you in particular do not break your word. The others may break, you don't break your word. The others don't show mercy, but you show mercy. Because of these things, there is none in the heaven, singular heaven, and in the earth. There exists other gods. Exodus 15:11 says, who among the gods? How have we read these things over a long period of time, but yet we never paid attention to? Let me put, every time I see the God, I will put the Paleo Hebrew term, okay? In our language, we say Nyamemo. Nyamemunum. Yamemunumunu. Is that how the cheese says it? Yamemo muno. Yes. Yamemo muno. Here netesewo. Extra ye won yamemu bebre. It means we have a lot of God. So the Paleo Hebrew will say Elohim amongst the Elohim. Let's read it. 11 says, who among the God Elohim is like you? Oh, Yah. Who is like you? Majestic in holiness, awesome in praise, working wonders. So this God is being justified by the works that he does. And they are saying, according to the works that he does, there is no one like him among the gods. How are we not seeing this? Mind you, at this time, they had just come out of Egypt, according to the story. And they've seen the manifestation of so many gods. But when this one alone, who among the gods is like you? Why is a creator comparing himself with his creation? This should let you know that this indeed is not the creator. Because the creator would never compare himself with the creation. The creator is not a God. Who among the gods is like you? Exodus 15:11. Oh yeah. Who is like you? Majestic. See, they are qualifying him. So they are looking at, they are considering it. It means that if another God appeared and did more than what Yah did, according to them, then the praise will go to this other God. Let's move to 1 Samuel 2 verses 2. Let's read quickly. I thought I was going to finish this today, but no. This is too huge. I can't finish today. 1 Samuel 2 verses 2. It says what? There is no holy like Yah. There is none beside you. There is no rock like our God. Again, the Creator does not compare himself to the creation or with his creation. So if there's a comparison here, there is no one holy like Yah. There is no one holy. Who is the one that they are comparing? Of course, it's not the human beings. The one here is the other gods. 1 Chronicles 17:20. Oh yeah, there is no one like you. There is no God, El, who is like you, as we have heard with our own ears. Let's clap for them. As we have heard with our own ears, there is no God that is like you. Oh yeah, there is no one like you. There is no God who is like you, as we have heard with our own ears. Meaning, we have heard from the other gods, we have heard from the other nations, we have heard from the other people, and there is no God like you. The Creator does not compare himself. He is the one creating every single one of you. Why would he compare himself? The Creator does not compare himself. It's only the creation that will compare themselves to one another. Should I prove it to you? Let's jump to the next verse, 21. And who is like your people, Israel? Was Israel the only nation that existed at that time, or existed at that time? Are you getting what I'm saying? The only reason why Israel can compare themselves, he said, and who is like your people? The one nation on earth whose father went out to redeem as a people for himself. So one nation and one God, and their God of this nation went out to redeem them for himself. So if they are comparing this God to the other gods, it's just like comparing Israel to the other nations. Are you getting the picture? So this God was being compared to the other gods, and just like there's no other God like you, Yah, is the same way there's no nation like Israel. Are you getting the picture? Let's jump to Exodus 9:14. It says what? All this time I will send the full force of my plague against you, and against your officials, and against your people, in order that you may know there is none like me in all the earth. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The Most High could have easily he's powerful, right? So he could have easily taken the children of Israel out of Egypt. Why? But why didn't he do that? Because he wanted to make a case. So this was not just about Pharaoh not letting the people go. Mind you, he hardened the heart of Pharaoh. Why did he harden the heart of Pharaoh? It means that naturally Pharaoh wasn't going to prove stubborn. He says, and I would harden the heart of Pharaoh, and Pharaoh wasn't going to prove tough. But if he did not make a scapegoat out of Pharaoh, then the other nations were not going to fear the people that were coming, and the God that is behind the people that were coming. That is why he hardened the heart of Pharaoh, so that Pharaoh will prove stubborn and give him the opportunity, because a curse without a cause does not work. He needed a cause to fight, and he got a cause to fight the Egyptian god. So therefore, in that sense, he can come and say that, see what I did in Egypt. If you touch my people, I'm bringing the same heat on you. That's why everywhere the children of Israel went, they scared the hell out of everybody, because people heard the news that were in Egypt. And he wanted to make a public show of the other gods. A creator does not go into competition with his creation. It is only the existence of a league that they compete. So the only reason why Yah wanted to make a public show and a scapegoat out of Pharaoh, because he was going after the gods of Egypt. According to the story, I'm not saying this happened, this did not happen. That's not what I'm saying right now. But according to this particular story, that is the underlying fact, that he could have delivered the people out, but he decided to harden the heart of Pharaoh. And he only hardened the heart of Pharaoh because he wanted to prove his point that I am the God, and y'all better be afraid. Listen, the subject is so broad. I thought I was going to finish today, but time is so dealing with me. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to finish. I'll continue the part 2. No, it's not going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow is Social Thursday, so I'm going to talk about an interesting subject. You'd want to listen to it. And Friday is Spirit Friday, so Friday I'm going to do strictly spiritual things. And Sunday is Identity Sunday. Monday and Tuesday are basically the free days, right? Okay, so I'm going to continue the part 2 of the gods of the Bible on Monday. But let me read this last point to you, because the scriptures that I've just given, this is just the surface. I'm going to give you the names of the gods that are in the scriptures and where they are this present day. People are surrounded by gods and they don't even know. People drink product of gods, they don't even know. People name their children by names of gods, they don't even know. People invoke God every single day, they don't even know. My question is, why is the Most High Yah comparing himself with others if there were no others? Why is he comparing himself with others if there were no others? Why is he comparing himself to others if he created them? Have you seen a mother ever compare herself to the daughter? Or a father ever compared himself to the son? Why is the Most High Yah comparing himself to the other gods if he created them? Why does he need constant reminder of the fact that there is no one like him? Why? Because he needs to make a point, like a politician. He needs to tell everybody that, listen, I'm better. I will do this. I will do this. He needs to keep saying it because he had an agenda to govern the entire world. Do you understand what I'm saying? These are facts. I'm not making this up. The Creator, never would he compare himself to anything he has created. It's only a creation that will compare himself and compete, because it is in nature that we compete with one another. Not wrongfully though, but at least make a statement like he did in Egypt. Stay blessed. I love you guys. Listen, we are almost 200. I'm excited because when it gets to 200, we want to promote our page when we get to 200 followers or subscribers. I'm super excited. Please, we're just about 9 more people. Just tell your friend to subscribe, okay? Not just, if we can hit 200 subscribers by the morning, hey, we started promoting by Monday. Stay blessed. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow for Social Thursdays. We're talking about everything social. Stay blessed.